I would not mistake, say hundreds of people came through and put their love to this place. Yeah, and contribute something little, make an art, or just bring a good energy to the place. Is how it did grow. It's a life. Dacha is part of life. It's what I like to do. I create this for myself. So being useful, it's one of those things that people need in life. You know.
Welcome to this new episode from Pai, Northern Thailand. I am here in the Good Life Dacha with Konstantin. How are you, Konstantin?
Good, thank you, good, very good.
Very nice. So Konstantin is the owner of this beautiful community space in Pai. And Konstantin, could you tell us a little bit more about your background and your life journey?
I grew up in Ukraine. I was born and grew up in Ukraine, and my mother was Russian, my father was Ukrainian, so I have both backgrounds, you would say, cultural. And I grew up in a city that was a border with the Ukraine, with the Russia, sorry. So it was a big city named Kharkiv, and it was quite a big mix of both cultures, yeah. Sure, and then when I was 21, 22 is when I moved to US, and I lived there for 17, 18 years maybe, and then I moved here, and now I'm here for about 18 years, and I'm in here like in Pai, like mostly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And so you born in Ukraine, lived in the US, and of a Russian and Ukrainian family, so you already have three different cultural traditions.
Yeah, yeah. And my grandfather was Jewish, so that's how I actually ended up being in US from that part of family.
Okay, and so after many years in the US, you decided, I want to live in Thailand.
In US, I was again a bit sick, you know, with different health problems, and the doctors in US are very expensive, and quality of life, the food, and it was of course not so good. And then I came to Thailand to relax a couple of times, and I fell in love with the country, and I felt much better when I was here, like health-wise. So I decided to relocate myself to here, and to start taking care of my health better, and yeah, that's what happened. And now I feel much better. Yeah.
Very nice. And you were first in Pai? I mean, that was the first destination in Thailand when you came? Or?
No, I started from Phuket, and then I made my way here to Pai, like slowly, Phuket, then Pattaya, then Bangkok, then Chiang Mai. I stayed in Chiang Mai maybe the most, maybe a few months, and then when I find Pai, I fell in love. Actually, we came to Pai already with my wife that I met in Chiang Mai, and we decided to make a living in Pai.
Very nice, of course. Also marrying a local person gives you even more an incentive to create roots in the country, doesn't it? So we are having this beautiful Russian-style tea for breakfast here. It's a bit cooler in Pai compared to Koh Phangan, particularly this time of the year. And yeah, it's very nice to have the fireplace as well. And yes, and this place is very lovely. So last night I was here starting from 4 p.m. Yeah, we had an inquiry meeting with a meditation teacher called Stan. Then we had a tea ceremony, yes, and ecstatic dance plus the sauna.
It was a fantastic day yesterday, but you could also choose if you want to go and do the meditation, or you can go in the park that is across the street from Dacha, and go under this big Bodhi tree, and a drum. It was a drum class, drum circle that people got together. And it's two completely opposite things. One is meditating peace, and another one drumming and expressing. And but they did the work very well. So there's people who were into meditation. So basically, the crowd kind of split in two. But then it was inquiries too. There's a lot of good questions and answered. Then after, yeah, the tea ceremony was held by Jane, and is a wonderful tea master, and that brought a lot of people, and it was also a meditational tea drinking with silence and a little bit explanation. It was good too, and then what was it? After that? It was the ecstatic dance, yeah, and it went for what, say, about couple of hours maybe, yeah, and it was fantastic. What a crowd, yeah. It was very beautiful experience. And then after that, sauna and acoustic jam. Yeah, we had a fire and people jamming, dancing, not so much dancing, but more like singing and playing guitar. Accordion was there, David on accordion. There's many local faces were there. Yeah, it was a very beautiful experience. It was so good to see.
This place is very beautiful because indeed it contains different parts to it, and it attracts different type of teachers. So when you started sort of building this place, I mean, what was your vision? What did you want to create?
Yeah, the Dacha in general means like a summer house, you know. It's well, it started from Peter the Great, when if somebody did something good for the country, he would give a piece of land outside of a big city for them to do the garden and put a little house. And surprisingly, even after the Tsar Revolution came, the Soviet Union came, but the concept stayed. Like so, at that point, the government, the Soviet Union government, would give people the land and outside of big cities to create this kind of nature living and be in peace and quiet. This is how this name came. Actually, we have another place in town. I don't know if you know Good Life, but with the COVID, it was closed.
Tea place, no?
Yeah, it's a restaurant. It's still there. Yeah, restaurant and. More than 10 years, it was one of the iconic place of pie, and it's where the wheatgrass juice, the kombucha started, kefir, cheeses, bakery. It started all there, and then say about few years or so back. Well, actually, it was two big floods in that area that flooded our place there a couple of times. So we were looking for a place to back up in case of another flood will happen. So we found this place, and we purchased it. At that time, it was possible. It was reasonable prices and all that. And we started developing since then. And it was actually our residential for a few years, and then we opened this to public, and we start creating. We moved our residential to a different house. My wife, she built another house, and we moved there. So after that, this become more open for public, for friends, for different activities, and that's kind of it grew. It was the same concept, just have a nice, beautiful little house outside of a big city or a busy city, not big city. That's a busy city, I tell you. Pai was very busy. Yeah, and it's coming back after COVID and all that. You see, it's becoming busy again. So I'm so glad we are sort of on suburbs, you say. Although it's a few minutes walk to the walking street, but it does feel, yeah, like a bit like you outside of town. So this is, and people, friends, it just grew. It kind of grew organically by itself. Me helping to it, and not only me, many people contribute to this place. There's a Keras that was a good partner and passed away not long time ago, a couple of years ago. But he contributed a lot. Jan was a good artist who contributed to this place too. There's many other people. Now it's yeah, I would not mistake say hundreds of people came through and put their love to this place. Yeah, and contribute something little, make an art, or just bring a good energy to the place. That's how it did grow. But for me, yeah, I guess I'm a kind of in the position of space keeper. which I don't really always like it. I like to be come, enjoy, and go. Yeah, but I have to be here and take care of the space and make sure everything works. The sound works, the fire lit, the chairs are not broken. Things like that is little things. Always something to look after, which is in one way, of course. You can make it look like a job, but no, it's a life. Dacha is part of life. It's what I like to do. I create this for myself, so how can I complain about this? No, I cannot. Yeah, so I made this way. So, yeah, and being useful, it's one of those things that people need in life. Is the worst thing I think is to be useless. Like when was it in Bible that there was a story about when God wanted to punish someone for bad deeds and made him invisible. And so I think it's the worst thing also to be like you there, you see everything, but you kind of become invisible, right? So yeah, that's what kind of scares me, thing of getting old and not being able to move. Yeah.
Konstantin, so there are different things that you provide here in the Dacha, and so you mentioned the props here. What are the props for?
This is Alpha Gravity. Alpha Gravity, we have a professional man comes and he teaches how to do Yuri, his name, and he's a world traveler too, and he's a very wise man. He knows how to do this. Also, there's a name for it. This is where you can stretch your head also in position your spine, everything. And he can actually hang. I don't know if you see him. He can hang. He can and
from the neck. Wow,
amazing. Yeah. So, and alpha gravity is kind of like yoga in the air. You would say that you use your body to stretch your muscles and everything. So these other activities with yoga, we have when people, some travelers that come stay here and they make classes, and it's all by donation. Everything here is by donation. It's not so commercial after all. But yeah, of course we make a few baht here and there, but that supports the place and the most. Yeah. So okay, back to other sport. We had the Qigong master came with the group and stayed here for almost a month and did Qigong and Tai Chi lessons for everybody too. It was open classes. Yeah, that's before COVID, of course. And yeah, there's a lot of other, like they said, gym outside, outdoors. There's actually government build and exercise machines and everything that also have a lot of use. And okay, there's a lot going on. We have these gatherings for contact dance improvisation.
Yeah.
For I can't even. There's so many things happening all the time that. But check our schedule. It's on Facebook, Good Life Dacha. You will see the things that happen in here.
It's a really cool space, and it's very lively, very alive. As we are chatting here, there's people everywhere. We have a dormitory, right, where people can stay and sleep.
Dorm rooms.
And we had the dogs coming, and it's so full of life. It's really.
We actually not only dorm. We have proper rooms with the luxury rooms with the toilets. So we have 3 houses. Yeah, 3 houses.
Okay. How many rooms do you have? How many people can stay?
Yeah, about 10 rooms and some dorms and a 3 house. Not a lot, but yeah, it's enough to have a nice people, nice community here. You would say, like, although the whole pie is one big community, but what happened at the Dacha is another small little community that bonds people and to stay here, to experience things together like this. Very beautiful.
It is lovely indeed. You also have a art space.
Yes, there's different rooms you can discover here. And one of the rooms is an art gallery. And there was a vision of Keras, of my partner I mentioned before, that he contributed to this place, and he wanted to have this kind of, his idea was to have this art gallery that would be open for people to come and enjoy and do different activities there as well. So we did have there a seminar for herbal education, like 3-day seminar by Dr. Deng, herbalist.
Of course, he's a friend of mine, Dr. Dean.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
And Dr. Deng.
P. Deng. Yes, it's the Thai lady. Sure. I know them
Dr.
both.
Dean also had a seminar, and also he put a class here. We had Family Constellation by David also. We had meditations there, all kinds, guided meditations. And now it's a good movie room. If you see, there's a projector there, and people have been watching the movies there on the evenings, movie nights they call them. So there's another, and there's a lot of tankas. It's an art collection from Keras that came there to be displayed, and it is so wonderful. This is the happiest time of my life to see that actually everything being used, the stage being used, the whole sound system being used, lights, everything being used. Art gallery being used. This place being used. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
That's like back to what we talk about being useful, right?
It's a very useful space indeed.
It's a very useful space. Now we build a kitchen, proper restaurant, good food, organic, the same wheatgrass juice came here. Kombucha, big thing, kombucha, don't underestimate. Kombucha is
I love it.
Grandma recipe.
Wow.
She was making kombucha, my mama made kombucha, now I make kombucha. I hope my children will make kombucha.
It's funny because I think a couple of years ago I was looking for somebody that could help me to buy Jiagulan tea. And that's how I connected with you on Facebook like 2 years ago, like long time ago.
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago.
Jiagulan is a big project. Since we got here, it's been a thing for us. Jiagulan is something you want to spread around. You want this health.
It's amazing. I drink it all the time now.
It's a herbal tea for those who don't know. You can use it on the food also. You can add to your salads. You can. Some even try to smoke it.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, that's up to you.
Yes, it's lovely. It's adaptogen, very powerful to rebalance hormones. I really love it myself. I actually put it in my kombucha as well, alongside the tea. Just to give it a little bit more power, And yes, so if you come to the Dacha, come to Pai, definitely come to the Dacha, take a look at the space. It's very quirky, very interesting, many different parts to it. Of course, there is a sauna, and everywhere I go and there is some sort of like a Russian or Ukrainian inspired space. The sauna is always there and it's lovely, absolutely. And with the climate of Pai, it's really a very good thing to have. Indeed.
We use fresh herbs. We go get the leaves from eucalyptus. Eucalyptus growing here. Yeah, people don't use it much. I don't know why. But now it's a bit harder and harder to find because more and more people they find the properties, good properties of eucalyptus. But we're lucky we know the places where we can get some. So it's fresh eucalyptus in the sauna and all other herbs that we get from Chinese doctor in Chiang Mai. It's a mix of different herbs. And that brings also a kind of health-conscious people, which is amazing. It's nice to see these people who going after health, not just getting wasted morning to evening.
No.
We trying to stay away from this kind of crowd, but hey, it also comes once in a while. There's nothing you can do. It's
you have
organic,
to be inclusive. You have to be inclusive indeed.
And
for us from Kopangan, last night, for example, there was such a big crowd of us. It's very easy coming from Sritanu, Kopangan. Sort of coming to the Dacha and feeling at home here because indeed the vibe is very much Kopangan, and nobody was drinking last night, I don't think. And
no, there was a couple of people with maybe a little beer. No, there was no drunk people there, no stoned people too. It was amazing, So good, that's what creates this good vibration.
Yes, it's very, so this for us is very easy. I think that coming from Kopangan Pai is like the sister village, and particularly the Dacha is certainly a space that we really like here. And what is great about Pai, you already mentioned it, that you also provide it, is the organic food and the good value food that you find everywhere, like amazing salads, very good local cuisine. And it's something that in Kopangan we have some lovely food, obviously, but I think Pai is so much superior to that. You have some organic farming here that we don't have so much.
Yes, yes, yeah. You should explore around here, like seedless foundations. These many places here that worth to visit and see what they're doing for organic produce. And yeah, it's fantastic. Like this actually organic stuff comes here on the market. You know, this community
Yeah.
market as happens on Sunday mornings. Yeah, it's, and wow, but it's not people sort of saying I mean, no, it's not me. It's the people that gather here. I didn't do anything about it. People just choose to use the park area right sort of next to Dacha to put their stands and bring this organic produce, bring their cookings and bakery, and there's so
That's
much
right.
good stuff. Yeah,
So much good stuff. Food in Pai is really amazing. I really love it here. And well, you know, it's been very interesting having a chat with you, Konstantin. Thank you very much. I
Thank
think
you,
what I got
thank
from
you.
you today, you know, is the concept indeed that, you know, it's good to be useful, you know, and to be part of the community and
Yes.
provide a service to people because there's meaning in it, there's satisfaction, is from the heart. And I really love the way you put together this very beautiful space, very interesting space with many corners and parts and rooms and different things happening here. It's very cool. So thank you very much for this
Thanks,
time. Yeah,
Lucas.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Yeah. Nice.